welcome to. So this is going to be my let's cheat of YouTuber's life. Doing my streaming on YouTube this time around because I don't know about Twitch. Twitch does its thing, and we'll see. But it makes more sense for me to do the YouTube version because that way my life is a little bit easier. That's what we're going to do. So I am going to go ahead and get started. So if you haven't played this game at all or haven't heard of it, it's basically just kind of like a YouTube simulator in a way. And I played a little bit to kind of get my feel for it. Also, I got a haircut because that's the way I roll sometimes. So we'll go ahead and get started on this. So we're gonna make a new game because I've already got one planned. There was an intro, I skipped it because I don't really care. Alright, so to get started, we got a mail. I'm actually even gonna brand my YouTube channel so I can take a look at what's going on. There we go. So it looks like my stream is going. Trying to get a couple things checked out in here. Oh man. I'm just adjusting a couple of things, so sorry this is taking a hot minute. I'm never prepared. Ever. Sorry. I'm gonna get like some double feedback while I'm trying to like figure some stuff out. But yeah. So that's pretty much that. Alright, so let me try and there we go. That's good. Alright, so now I can see the chat and some other junk as well as everything else. Pop this out. There we go. Alright, so now if you do have questions, you can go ahead and ask me your questions and I can help you out with this. So we're going to start it now. And let's see here. So number one thing you want to do once we've got Cheat Engine opened up, which I do. So I'm going to pop that up on the screen here. So I've got my Cheat Engine down there, as you can see. And first thing you want to do is obviously hook up the process. So you click the little computer button there. And then you're going to choose the right program that's running. So right now it's YouTubersLife.exe. Simple, we already know that. Alright, so good. So now we've got that. So we're going to take that off the screen for now. And we're going to set up our character. So I don't particularly know what the best thing here is. I'm going to say Genius is the number one thing to do. Whatever. Alright, so my name, Dable, cool. Randomize a couple things. Now actually, this is a good opportunity to talk about the randomizer. So people have asked me about the randomizer and how that works, or the unrandomizer rather. And this might be an opportunity to take a look at that. So if I pop up that on the screen here, now if I bring up the unrandomizer here and I check that, it'll ask me this window. It'll bring up another window that I have to say yes or no to. So I'm going to continue. Now you see the unrandomizer's up. So now, if I go back and I click, say I click this purple broadcast, this should, okay, so it doesn't figure in. So people have asked me about the unrandomizer and said, how does this thing work? Is it useful? Not really. So once you've activated it, you can right click it and it can tell you which addresses have gotten changed. So in this case, it's telling me 2FCC3973. I don't know what that actually is. There's a lot of different potential things that can be randomized. So, I mean, that's it. There's not really a whole lot to it, unfortunately. So let's never speak of Gen Randomizer again, because it's a thing, but it's not a very useful thing. Moving right along. Abusive channel sounds like a thing. Let's do it. I didn't really customize my character at all, so sorry. I started making my first videos in this room. I've just moved my mom, blah 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 blah, your mom, blah blah blah. Okay, great. Alright. So, I've also made brownies today with ice cream, so that's great. The brownies are homemade, the ice cream, however, is not. Alright, so I'm going to get through some of the tutorial here. Just kind of got to get through the tutorial so that we can keep moving onward and actually do something useful. So this actually might be something we can play with, but we'll get to that later. This actually might be a good time to try to cheat something. So you can see we've already got a number here. So I'm going to pop up my screen and let's do, I don't know what kind of value this is going to be, so I'm going to choose 6. I'm looking for this number here, the number 6. Move this off the side. Alright, so thank you. Let's pick something random. Okay, great. Now I'm going to make this, now it's down to 4. Hit 4. Nothing yet. Time before starting the game, we'll say sarcastic comment. Great. And now we're at 0. So, boom. So, not really enough of anything to get like a solid number there. So, we'll just kind of forget that for now. And we'll try to get on the next one. We'll need probably a little bit more of that light bulb stuff before we can actually do something useful. Alright, so now it's going to tell me to drag these clips to the editing, whatever. Done. There they are. Alright, so I got some rendering points. So let's try that. Let's go back to 10, and we've got a number. So double click that, now we've got a value that we can play with. Let's make it, the maximum that I can use here is 14. Let's try locking it to 10. So set it to 10 and lock it. So it doesn't seem like that one's working either, so that's not cool. Okay, you can hear me now because I had my microphone muted because I'm dumb. So, yeah. Oh man, that sucks. So yeah, I just showed off the ability to raise my money to 50 million, which is great because now I got a shit ton of money. I feel like I should restart the whole thing just because I screwed that up so badly. Alright, so I've got that fixed. Let's see. At least there's some smooth jazz music playing for the past, like, I don't know, how long have I been doing this? Like, friggin' 5-10 minutes? God, it's annoying. I hate when I mess up little things like that. It's frustrating because, like, now I gotta be like, oh, should I even try this again? Yeah, screw it, let's keep going. So, I'll recap. I popped this up, my cheat engine here, and basically I looked for the amount of money that was here in the top left of the screen. So I've got obviously about 50 million now, and the way I found that was went to new scan, set the value type to all, and then I did a scan based on where my money was. So in this particular game, the decimal doesn't figure in unless it's got something in it. So I don't think there's a whole lot of things that use decimals in this, so you're pretty safe just searching for whatever the actual amount is. So that's pretty much that for that. So there's money. Let's see what else we can find. I'm not gonna buy a wage actually. Myself, I'm not where I got that, so nothing cool there. I guess we can go ahead and buy all the games. Why not? Yay! Okay. So one thing that's going to get really frustrating is going to be the amount of, well, basically this stuff up here at the top. So let me clear some of these things. So the stuff over here, over there, in the left side, that, gosh, I gotta flip this now because it's, I wonder if I can. Can I flip this easily? I want to say probably not. I probably have to like do annoying weird stuff to make it, no, actually, nope, 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 not that one, not that one either, nope, there it is, there we go. So now I've got that flipped. So, have I completely ruined anyone yet? Alright, great. So, if you've gotten vertigo, I apologize. If not, then I've not done my job. So, we're going to start with these little green bars here for food and for sleep. So, for that, we have to do what is, colloquially termed as an unknown value search. And I'm trying to click the wrong damn thing, so there's so many windows open right now. So I'm going to open this window again, and then we'll go ahead and I'll hit the pause button. Actually, yeah, we'll leave it as is. So I'm eventually going to have everything. So, alright, we're going to do a new scan. Alright, we're going to do a new scan, and what we're going to do is an unknown initial value. And I'm also going to leave it as all because I don't know specifically what this is going to show up as. So, or what kind of value it's going to be, if it's going to be a decimal or what it is. Usually if I see something like this, I expect it to be coded as a float, so some type of decimal. So we're going to go ahead and just do another initial value search. Done. And the next thing is we're just going to let it decrease a little bit. Let our sleep decrease. I think it has, and then we're going to go to next scan. Alright, so there's one. It's decreased a bit, so cool. We can make it decrease a little bit faster by going out to study. So we'll go out to study, and I saw it decrease. Every time you see this thing decrease, you can just go ahead and hit the button, and you'll see it start to narrow down your searches. Alright, so now we're going to go to sleep, which is going to increase the value. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes. Alright, there it is. So we've got 214 values now, and we're going to look for some that are decreasing. So, let's see. Now, like I said, I'm expecting it to be a decimal of some kind, and I'm expecting it to be a relatively stable number, but it's still kind of hard to tell from here, because 214 numbers is still a lot. So I'm going to go and choose decreased value, and we'll try to figure out, I have to eat. It's fun. You play a game where half the time you have to just stop and eat. See while we play, that way we save time. Alright. So I can tell my value has decreased for sure. And we're going to send them to study again. Alright, so it definitely decreased. And I'll go out and study again. Saw it decrease. Saw it decrease. Saw it decrease. Ah, it's going. So, cool. So, did not get the value. I'll try it again. So, I'm going to study again. Alright. So let's do the increase. So we'll get some sleep, that way the value will go up. It's going up. And now we need to decrease again. Alright, so it's gone down, and let's try to get it to go down some more by doing some more studying. So we're going to actually wait until after this is done this time, that way I'll be more apt to get the right thing. Okay, so I can't study anymore, so I might as well do the sleep so it goes up. Alright, so it's up as high as it can go now. Alright, so still got a lot of values here. Well, I can have him work. So we'll have him go to work, that way we can get the value to decrease. And the sun's really beaming into my window right now. So here we go. Alright, so that definitely makes it go down quick in a hurry. Alright, so decreased. Let's work again. I love that smooth jazz. Alright, so we've got a decreased value. Alright, so now we'll do sleep to make the value to increase. Alright, so there it is. So we've got a lot of options still. So they're probably not as quick as some of these are moving. Let's try, okay, let's do work one more time. Try to get that value to decrease a little bit more. so we've got a lowered value, so decrease value. I'm on search again and send them to Word again, try to get that value drop a little bit more, so maybe we can narrow down our searches a little bit. Alright, so that's the lure, and now we can try to get this a little bit higher. So now we'll make it go up, and then we'll increase the value. Alright, so we're down to about 5,000, a little under 5,000. And this is where we can start to look for a value for this. At this point, kind of just taking shots in the dark based on what's kind of moving and what's kind of not. These numbers up here aren't moving a whole lot, so I wouldn't expect it to be any of those. You could also take a look at, if it's red, you'll know that it's changed. A lot of these are changing pretty rapidly and going back and forth, so you can kind of rule those out. It's going to be kind of hard to take a guess at this point, so we'll have to do a decreased value again and try to narrow it down some more. Yeah, good hug. Alright, so the value's going down again. Alright, so now we're down to 677. That's a little bit more reasonable. So we can look at these and we can tell that most of these are not values that we're going to be looking for. So we can go ahead and grab these and just should be able to remove them. Or maybe we can't remove them. That's a shame. Should be able to remove it, but we'll let me. So we'll just move on with that. We'll pretend like it matters. Doesn't matter. Okay, so 191. Let's make the value go up, and this might be the last time we gotta play with it. If not, I'm just gonna say we'll move on and find something else to cheat on. 109, it's not that. Alright, so I'm actually looking at this value here. It seems to be going down pretty regularly. So let's try freezing that. So freezing that doesn't do a whole lot, so that tells me that it's not a root value. Same thing here. If I freeze that one, so nothing useful there. So let's try. We've got a series of values that could be it. So one way to kind of brute force figure this out would be basically, I found a value that somehow pauses the game. Outstanding. So one thing to do, actually this one looks pretty much like this is. So the logic here is I'm looking at this and it's 90. So I'm thinking that this bar is based off of percentage. So it's at 100%, it's at 100, and as it goes down, it gets lower. So I'm looking at that, and I can say that that green looks like maybe about 90%. So let's try checking that, freezing it in place. And it looks like it is freezing. And if I set it to actually the thing we're looking for, we set it to 1, and it does in fact make this little value here go down, which is what we'd expect. So I change this to 100, boost up the food. So there we go. So I've now got my two values for energy and my value for money. So going pretty good. So the next thing I want to do is I want to find this value. That's 6. That should be pretty easy to do too, because now we can manipulate these two bars, which makes it super easy for us to find the other value. So let's go ahead and we can actually do an exact value scan. Now I don't know if this is going to be a integer, decimal, whatever the hell it's going to be. So what we're going to do is we're just going to change this to all, and we're going to search for a 6. So there we go. Alright, so we found a 6. A lot of them actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to 50, and that puts us down to 5. So we'll search for 5. Now we'll drop this one down to a 50, and that puts us at a 4. And there we go, we've got a value. Let's set that to 50. So it looks like it is where it is. It seems we may not be able to change this value itself. We may have to actually, because it seems that is the right value, because changing it does change some other things, but it does make the number flash anyway. But it doesn't actually change the value. So the thing we might try in order to get this to, the thing we might try to make this actually work the way we want it to is we'll go ahead and we'll try boosting these other values. So I'm going to change the value for the energy. I'm going to change it to 500%. So it won't go over 100. So that's kind of locked where it is. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that value because we can't do much with it. I'll make sure I label these. So we got rest. Whoa. I'll send him to study just for fun. So we're going to go with rest, hunger. We'll spot these places because it doesn't make sense not to. And we'll set the money to 50 million. Yay! Great. Pretty excited about going to school. So we've got ourselves a nice. I gotta get this brownie because it's actually good. Alright, so we found the money, the hunger, and the rest. In case you hadn't seen this so far, if you look here, hunger and rest turn out to be floats. So we did an unknown additional value search for those. And then each time that it went down, we just hit a decreased value. Or if we made it go up, we did an increased value. Money was a simple float. And you really just have to put in the number without the change, without the decimal. And then you get your money. So now I got 50 million. The next thing we can try to figure out would be either the experience, or we can try to figure out one of these other options, or we can try to do subscribers, or we can try to do views. So, well, this is using Cheat Engine to try to find nice little hacks for the game. So we'll go ahead, and if you haven't seen YouTuber's Life, it's kind of a dumb game. So we can buy a new monitor now with my infinite amount of money, and let's do a new gaming video. Let's see. Try to pick something that's popular. Gameplay videos. Alright, so we'll do low resolution. So one thing we can try to do is change this value of available power down here. Actually, I'm not going to worry about that until after it gets started. So, started. Leave the default name because I don't care. You overcame a hard challenge. Great. Celebratory screen. That was the right thing. Interactive loading screen. Can't do anything with that, so no. It's only a short video. Alright, so I've got 22 rendering points down there. I'm going to do this simple little deal here where I'm going to try to do a exact value search. So we've got 22. So the first scan, it's going to slow down a little bit here while that processes through. Okay, so now I'm going to hit that. So now I'm down to 18 points.
Yay!
$10.63 right now. 1091. Okay, it's not gonna search the way I wanted to. So I gotta hit the pause so it'll stop doing stuff. So let's. And I hope the pause actually works this time. Okay, pause worked there. So. Alright. So we've got a number, and we'll let it go up and then pause one more time. So, alright. 1161.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
100 just for fun. Let's do next scan. So, okay, I've got a couple options here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change these to things that will be obvious which one is which. That one seems like it was the most likely to be the value we're searching for because it changed another value to match it, which usually is a tell that you found the right value. So we'll do that. Okay, there we go. So whichever one of these is 1968, which is this top one, this is the value we're looking for. Found it. So fantastic. So I'm going to change my money back to, I don't know, something reasonable like 500,000. So, oh, thanks. So I'm going to go ahead and I've changed my money to 500,000. So now all I got to do is spend this one again to make it come back up. So there we go. Money's jumped. I hate you. It's this one? Okay, it's this one. Got it. Alright. So I got to spend money again to make it go back to where I wanted to. Yeah, you just can't be cool about this, can you? Alright. Let's try spending money again. That's the one. So, found it. So, this was the value I was looking for. It's this one here. Got it. Boom. Now we can go ahead and proceed with the pointer scan. So, now what we can do is we'll go to pointer scanner and we'll go to rescan memory. So now we've got this window back up, which tells us, do we want to do the address to find or do we want to do the value to find? We're going to do the address to find because it makes things a lot smoother. Now we know the address is right here. It's 2D6F621C. So that's what we're going to type in. So 2D6. Well, dyslexic right there. F6. 1C. Again, we're doing the address to find, not the... Did I mute the microphone again? No, I didn't. Okay, great. I hope I didn't. It's gonna be really annoying if I have my microphone muted so that nobody can hear me. I don't think it is. It shows that I'm broadcasting. Alright, so just to find, we're set there. So I'm going to go ahead and search. It asked me for a file name, so I'm going to put another file name. And now we're down to 1225 again. So we're not really decreasing our numbers too much. At this point, we just kind of need to pick some values. Oh, so these are actually going to show up as, that's the reason. So one thing I kind of screwed up was I didn't change the float before. So changing it to float would have made this a lot easier. Actually, most of these are probably valid pointers. So let's try, I don't know. Let's try this one here because this one doesn't have to go anywhere. We'll try this one. So as you can see, we put in this pointer scan, and now that's the right value. So call this money, and I will delete these other couple options. So with those deleted, we can now close the game. The game is closed, out of the way. As you can see down here, we have a question mark for our value, and we'll open up YouTubers Live again. And once we get the game back up, we should be able to see our money change and populate into this value here. Oh yeah. Also have to reopen the process, so just re-choose YouTubers Live, and there we go. Money is there. Choose yes to actually keep the correct code list. And I can start removing some of these extra windows because, dear God, I've got a lot. Alright, great. So there we go. We've successfully hacked a few different things in this game today, in a roundabout way anyway. So we got the money, we got a pointer to the money, so that now every time we load up the game, we always have the same stuff, or the same ability to change money. And in fact, I should be able to open up any random game I wanted to. So let's say I start a brand new character. So brand new character, skip this stuff, male, whatever, romantic, it doesn't matter, I don't care. Moving on. You get a little bit smooth jazz that you get every time you play this damn thing. Yeah, great. Oh yeah, clicking the wrong thing. Alright. There. Alright. So all that stuff's there. Cool. So now as you can see, I still got the right amount of money. So let's jump this up to, again, some modest numbers such as 55 million. It's 55 million. And you'll notice that it hasn't gone up here yet because it hasn't chosen to, or the game hasn't updated my money yet. But yeah, skip the tutorial because skip the tutorial. Alright. So we'll go here to upgrade the computer so that I can show you that the money is in fact going to increase quite a lot. So $16 for that, and by buying that I've given myself $55 million or so. So awesome! YouTube is the greatest. I can make shit tons of money in like minutes. So there we go, lots of money. If you missed out on it, we already did hack the energy in these bars and the food. They are floats and they go from 100 down to 0. So if you do an unknown value scan and then you start going down, just look for a value that's somewhere around, if it's at the start, look for something between 90 and 100, and then you can kind of narrow down your values. And that's pretty much it. So I can't really think of too much else on here that I want to try to hack. So unless there's any requests, And then I cut it off, and see y'all next time. Did it? Alright. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one. How do I end this? According to this game, I should do something like goodbye wave. Goodbye wave.